So I lived across the street from someone that we had become friends with, our neighbors, who had been inviting my wife and I to come to their church for quite some time. I really didn't want to go. I didn't see myself as a church person, and had never been around it. And it came close to Easter, and we were having an Easter egg hunt, and my wife really wanted to put our daughter in a nice dress and take her there, or at least that's what she told me. You know, I certainly found out later she was still trying to get me to go, but I relented for Easter. So we went and took my daughter, who was 3 at the time, to go to this Easter egg hunt, and then I sat through the service, and I was not too thrilled with being there, but I did it for her. When we went inside to go to the actual service, they had a greeting team, and I met one of the people who was greeting, came up and introduced herself to me, and happened to be somebody that was kind of in my line of work, and we talked about that for a few minutes, and then I agreed with my wife to come back the next week, and then she greeted us again, and she remembered my name, and kind of helped us feel more comfortable, even though I was still pretty awkward and nervous about it. But we kept going. My wife wanted to keep going, and I could see that it would be good for my kids. So I went, for that reason only, really. And then after a time, the pastor was pretty good, and I started enjoying some of the sermons. And then he did a message series, about a 30-day message series about actually reading the Bible, which I had never done in my whole life, and asked the church to actually everybody spend time reading every day for 30 days. And I did that, and somewhere in that process, Jesus grabbed me. I started reading more intently for myself, not just because I wanted to show that I had done what we were supposed to do, but I got it somehow, and I've kept that going since. That was almost 13 years ago now. Not too long after that message series, I got baptized, and my faith has really developed since then. Over the time, our family has become much more involved in the church. When I got baptized, my wife did as well, although she had when she was little, but she did again. And then we also baptized one of my sons. And then eventually, when I started coming to Church 180, my daughter, who had been so young at the time, when she was 14, was baptized herself at her own decision. So it's really been a blessing and a privilege, and I've just been so happy to stay involved. I did actually, even at that church, get involved in the set up and tear down. It was a set up tear down church, for which I continue to do today. I find that's a way that I got close to people and made real relationships with the people in the church, rather than just shaking hands and smiling and saying hello. And I still have some of those relationships today, and that's been a big part of my life.